is going on YouTube? Joe here with Culination Media, and welcome back for another Wi-Fi battle. This time we're going to be doing a post-commentated Wi-Fi battle, which is something I have not done in literally years. Like, it was 2013 or 2014 the last time that I recorded one of these, so you're going to have to bear with me as I have to get used to it again. But there's going to be some changes that are coming to the channel. I didn't want to make a full update video, so we're going to do it real quick at the beginning of this video before I get into the actual battle. First of all, the schedule is going to be changing a little bit as far as uploads, just mostly rearranging. It's going to be actually more videos than what I had been doing previously. But anyway, a bunch of my friends, Mike, Alex, TJ, Roman, basically all the people that you see on the channel all the time, they're good friends. They have a Wi-Fi league that they participate in, and they were kind enough to not avoid me, invite me. Could not think of the correct word there. Total brain fart. They were kind enough to invite me, so we had a draft, and we're going to be playing matches over the course of like 7 or 8 weeks. It's really short, and it's just something fun that we can do. Not like hyper competitive or anything. It's just something fun. But anyway, I put a poll up on Twitter and asked if you guys wanted to see content related to that and relevant to that topic, and overwhelmingly you guys said yes. So here's what we're going to do. On Monday, instead of the usual live Wi-Fi match, we're going to have a team analysis video going over my team and my opponent's team and all the options and what I'm going to be running and things like that for that week's match. On Tuesday, we will then have the live recorded match and see how things go. And then on Friday, instead of no upload, sometimes I'm going to be posting some post-commentated battles of some other battles throughout the league that I thought were pretty cool, because I'm sure some really cool things are going to happen. My battle of the week isn't always going to be the most interesting, so yeah, that's part of why I wanted to do this video too, is to kind of brush up on my post-commentating skills. It's a whole different beast, and I can give you guys a lot more information than doing it live when I'm trying to like juggle, trying to make sense, trying to like be at least a little bit entertaining and interesting, and still try to play the game. So yeah, so we got team analysis on Monday. We have the live league battle on Tuesday, and then we have post-commentated battles on a Friday. So if anything, you're actually going to be getting more videos, so I guess that's not necessarily a bad thing, even if you don't like post-comms. The only thing is Pokemon Showdown is going to be hitting the bench, but coming up tomorrow, I do have an hour-long session that I recorded, so hopefully you will enjoy that, and it'll be back when the league is over. Okay, that is enough talking. Let's get into what we have going on for this battle. Okay, so obviously we're doing a UU battle here, as you can probably tell from the teams, although Mike is amazing because he brought a Soul Rock to this battle, which is so cool. I don't think I have any Pokemon that are lower than UU. I mean, Moltres is BL2 maybe? I don't even remember, to be honest. But anyway, the analysis. Alright, let's get into this. Not off to a good start here. He's got the Soul Rock. That's his only potential Stealth Rocker. So I'm thinking, because of the fact that I do have Moltres, which is 4 times weak to rocks, and I have Beedrill, which likes to U-turn in and out and is weak to rocks, that he's going to want to set up those Stealth Rocks as soon as possible. So his most likely lead at this point is going to be the Soul Rock. I actually have Pursuit on my Mega Beedrill just for things like Alakazam, but in this case, it's going to work for the Soul Rock as well. So I'm going to lead my Mega Beedrill for sure, because he's going to switch out. He's not going to want to take the incoming U-turn or risk it, because even if he's defensive, that's going to be a buttload of damage. So Pursuit, when he switches out, should do about half, even to defensive Soul Rock, I would think. So we're going to find out about that. He's got the Hydreigon. I don't know what that's going to be. It's looking like his Scarfer is going to be either Heracross or Rotom Heat at this point. On my side, I've got the Mega Beedrill, obviously. That's Jolly, which is actually going to come into play in this battle, so we have to remember that. It's a positive speed nature over the Adamant, which a lot of people like to run. This Sylveon set is absolutely stupid. It is one of the stupidest sets I've used in quite a while. And no, it's not physical, so maybe it isn't that dumb. But it's a Calm Mind Sylveon with Rest instead of Wish and Snore. Not Sleep Talk, Snore. Because Snore is boosted by Pixelate, and it has that handy dandy 30% flinch rate, so I can be a cancer player and go for the flinch. But it's just so cool to see Sylveon going for Snore. It's actually quite amazing. The advantage that it has, I was just joking about the flinch. That's not why I have it. It allows you to, for sure, get some damage off, because there's a solid chance that if you sleep talk, you can get rest, and I'm an expert at that. So I just waste turns, and there's been quite a few times where I lose because I can't pull anything but rest. So Snore alleviates that, and it's just, like I said, it's pretty awesome to see Sylveon going for for Snore and doing things. The Empoleon is actually offensive. It also is Stealth Rock, because the only other rocker I could have would be the Infernape, and that's actually a Swords Dance set with a Fist Plate, so I can potentially bluff a choice item. Only thing is I don't have U-Turn on there. I've got Swords Dance, Mach Punch, Close Combat, and Flare Blitz. That could potentially be useful for Heracross if it turns out that it's like Bandit or something. We're going to have to wait and see. And this Moltres set. Moltres is a Pokemon I don't think I've ever used, like, competitively in my career of being a Pokemon battler. I don't think I've ever used Moltres, so what better way than to just use it defensively. So it's a Sub-Roost set with Will-O-Wisp and Mono Attacking Air Slash, so that should be fun. Even though I'm defensive, I have enough speed investment to outpace positive base 80s, if I remember correctly, which doesn't come into play too much here because he's got a base 85 in Heracross, but that's probably going to be Scarf, so it doesn't really help me too much there. Rotom Heat is like base 86, I think. So yeah, it doesn't help too much. I also have enough Speedy Vs on the Empoleon to be able to outspeed base 65s, so that's pretty helpful, I suppose. And then last but not least, I do have the Flygon set. That's going to be my Defogger. I needed some way to be able to control hazards because of the fact that I have a Beedrill and a Moltres. Cannot just allow rocks to be going up. So this Flygon is actually specially defensive. It's got the Roost, Defog, Earthquake, and U-Turn. U-Turn allows for some momentum. Actually has pretty good synergy with Beedrill. And, I mean, the fact that it's specially defensive and doesn't have too much speed allows it to be able to get that slow U-turn off and get things in safely. Namely, Infernape and my Sylveon. So that's really all I have to say here. Did I miss anything? Obviously, he's got the Mega Sharpedo. But I think that's enough team analysis here. Let's get into what actually is going to happen in the battle. Okay, so as I mentioned, I'm going to be leading off with my Beedrill here because I should be able to get up my Mega, which is very important. I need to get that speed boost as soon as possible, and I predicted him to want to lead off with the Solrock. So he does lead off with the Solrock, which is great, as I'm going to pause this here because I'm going to be explaining various things throughout the battle, and it goes too fast otherwise. Anyway, he's got a couple of options here, and it really boils down to, is he going to predict me to protect or not? I outspeed this, so there's really no reason for me to worry about it. I can just click either U-turn or knockoff. I actually don't have the knockoff though. I replaced that with pursuit, and that's what I'm going to click here because I do not want him to be able to escape. I want to get off as much damage as possible, even though if I U-turn, I get off my Mega and I get the extra momentum. I'd rather get off around 50-ish% to this thing because that is clearly his Stealth Rocker, and if I can eliminate that early on in the match, that's going to make my life way easier because of the fact that obviously I'm packing the Moltres, and that will allow Beedrill to kind of just U-turn in and out as I please. Really the only switch in he has other than this Solrock, which I guess isn't really even a switch in, would be the Rotom, and I can wear that down because it doesn't have recovery. So that does pretty much exactly 50%, which is fantastic. Now I can easily kill it. So yeah, that's really not too worrisome. So now he's going to go out into the Rotom Heat, obviously, because I cannot one-shot this, and he could just click Overheat. I wasn't sure at this point if this was going to be a offensive variant that was going to be Choice Lock, so I went for the Protect just to scout to see what he was going to do. And I didn't think he was going to Volt Switch because I do have Flygon. But I have to be wary of the Will-O-Wisp if this is a defensive variant. So I am going to U-turn out into the Flygon, because this is defensive and I can take the stabs of this thing. So he's just going to go for the Overheat again. That does absolutely nothing because this is specially defensive Flygon. I do have some speed investment in this as well. I believe I'm running enough speed to be able to outpace Magnetons. because magnetons are a thing. So base 70s, basically. Timid base 70s. So he's going to go back into the Soul Rock here, and I'm going to get a U-turn off, which is going to do an okay amount of damage. It's looking like that's physically defensive, or maybe specially defensive. I guess it could be specially defensive with, like, Will-O-Wisp. That's pretty cool. But he's going to show the lefties here, and now I have Beedrill, which is perfect. That's exactly what I wanted him to do. I was hoping and praying that he was going to switch in this thing, because I could just Pursuit Trap it, and he knows this, so he's going to stay in, and I'm going to U-turn out. So that is pretty much the best thing that could have happened. We're only a couple turns in, and this Soul Rock is already gone. That means there's not going to be rocks up on my side of the field. So my Moltres and my Beedrill are very, very happy campers. That also reduces the pressure on my Flygon as he goes into Heracross here after I pulled out the Empoleon. And I wanted to see what this thing has and try to get an idea on whether or not it was going to be Scarf. So that's why I wanted to get it out on the field early. I'm going to make the play into Moltres this time. He could very easily have Stone Edge, but I did not think he was going to predict me to switch in Moltres on a Heracross. If he had the knockoff, that also could have potentially been a play. But yeah, he also doesn't know what my Sylveon set is, so there's that. So he's going to make the switch here, obviously, because Moltres poops on Heracross. So he's going to go into the Rotom as I set up a substitute. This just pretty much allows me a free turn, and I can at least get off a little bit of chip damage on this. Now, I don't know, he could have Rest, especially if he's defensive. He could be like Resto Chesto. So what I'm going to just do here is Roost. This also takes away my flying type for the turn, so if he goes for Volt Switch, it's not going to be super effective. He actually shows off the Discharge, though, which leads me to believe that he is definitely defensive. Offensive variants usually carry Thunderbolt, not Discharge. It's still going to be enough to break the sub, though, because I am more physically defensive, not specially defensive. So I'm going to make the play into the Flygon here, as he is going to switch out as well and go into his Sylveon, which is actually a really good play, and it's just not good for me. Not good for me because I can't do anything. He one-shots me. I would have to go into my Empoleon, but because my Empoleon is more offensive, I believe that Specs Hyper Voice might 2-hit KO. But yeah, I really don't have too much of a choice. I guess it would depend on the spread and all that stuff. But he's going to just go for the Baton Pass. I don't know that he would stay out on this anyway. But yeah, so he's going to Baton Pass out, and he's going to get to go back into his Heracross for free, which is really unfortunate. And this time, I make the mistake of predicting that he was not going to click Close Combat again. I thought he might try to predict that Moltres play and go for the Stone Edge, or at least the knockoff, and I would have been able to get off huge damage on this thing, but it was not to be. I guess he just out-predicted me there, and yeah. So now I'm going to go into my Sylveon, and I'm pretty positive that he is locked into the Close Combat. Like, I'm 99% sure that this thing is Scarfed. So I should be able to take 2 Close Combats, even with that Moxie boost. Or I'm sorry, Close Combat should be a 2-hit KO, not that I should take 2. So what I can do here is go into Sylveon, predict that he's not going to want to leave his Heracross in here, because if he Close Combats again, and I Hyper Voice, it's over. Like, I don't know how he would win at that point. He would have to, like, get a sweep with Sharpedo. I mean, I guess it really depends on what that Hydreigon set is, too. But, yeah, if he loses Heracross at this point, I don't really see how it's going to be possible for him to win. So I'm going to click Calm Mind, predicting him to want to save this Heracross, but he makes the ballsiest, most, I don't know, it was such a brave play. Like, my jaw dropped when he stayed in. I could not figure out, like, how or why he would do that, but it really, really screwed me over. Maybe he just predicted me to predict that, because Mike is a fantastic player. So there's that. So now I'm screwed. I have to switch out. I don't want to sack Sylveon for no reason. So he's locked into the Close Combat. I'm going to go into Moltres here. I can take 2 of those for sure, especially with lefties. And I didn't want to have to do this because now he just gets a safe switch into his Rotom that I cannot touch. because all I have is Air Slash and Will-O-Wisp to dish out damage. I could roost predicting that, I could Air Slash, or I could try to switch again, but if he stays into close combat again, then I'm really screwed. So I just clicked Air Slash here, and he's going to get his Rotom in for free. And judging by how much that did, which is like literally 0, that did nothing. That did absolutely nothing. It's pathetic. It actually makes me want to cry seeing how much damage that did. So that's specially defensive if I've ever seen it, which means he probably has rest. But I'm going to go into Flygon here, because if he has the rest, because he's shown Volt Switch, he's shown Discharge, he's shown Overheat, that other move I'm predicting to be Rest, and that means he does not have the Will-O-Wisp, so I don't really have to worry too much about switching into Flygon, although Earthquake also is not helping me too much here, because he's got the Rotom that's immune to it, he's got Hydreigon that's immune to it, he's got Heracross which resists it. So yeah, it's not too great. So I'm going to U-turn out and go into Sylveon, knowing I should be able to take defensive Volt Switch. And I do, barely. That was like 9 HP or something that I had left. And now he's going to get to go into Sharpedo, and I have to click Hyper Voice. And there's really not much I can do about it. He's just going to Waterfall me, and so now, yeah, I'm not in the greatest position because this thing gets a speed boost. I cannot one-shot it with Mach Punch because I'm not Choice Banded, and even if I was, I don't know that I can. So what I'm going to do here is go out into my Moltres. Even though he can Waterfall me easily, this is actually a roll with my spread. If he is Jolly, which I'm assuming he is, because most Sharpedos are. I mean, I guess he could be running Adamant with the speed boost. But I kind of figured he was Jolly. Most of them are, like I said. So he's going to either get the roll or he was Adamant. He will probably mention it in the comment section. But that really sucks because now I lost Moltres, which could one-shot Heracross with an Air Slash. And now my only hope of not getting swept at this point is that he doesn't have Ice Fang. And it turns out that he only has the Crunch, which means maybe he can have Aqua Jet. I don't really know. But this is crucial because now Flygon survives, I get a U-turn off, and now he's definitely inside Mach Punch range, especially because I'm carrying the Fist Plate, and I'm not going to mess around with this because if I try to predict around it and he doesn't just, you know, he doesn't do the necessary thing, I lose. Really in no position to be making any predictions there. So now he's going to go into his Sylveon, and now he can just start firing off Hyper Voices and killing everything. And actually, there's really no reason for him not to click Psyshock here, which is what he does, because I have Flygon, Infernape, and Beedrill left at this point. All of them just get one-shotted by Specs Psyshock. So that's what he goes for. This allows me to get a safe switch into Beedrill, and now I can just fire off a Poison Jab, which, because this is offensive Sylveon, that's just gone. That is just obliterated. No Sylveon is going to be taking Adaptability Poison Jab from a Mega Beedrill. Now he's going to go into his Rotom, and I'm going to switch out here after getting some nice chip damage. That U-turn actually does a lot. Obviously, it's because it's a critical hit. I don't know how much that actually helps me or matters here, but this is going to allow me to go into my Infernape. I have to basically just hope and pray that I do not get powered by this Discharge, and I do not. It also doesn't do half. I wasn't positive that Mach Punch was going to kill there. I guess I could have calced it, but I wasn't sure, so I just clicked Close Combat. I mean, my defenses really didn't mean too much to me there, so there was no reason to risk potentially just having it not kill, because again, I lose in that situation. Now I'm in a tough spot, and the reason I clicked Mach Punch here, as I'm going to pause it, I clicked Mach Punch because I actually did calc how much Poison Jab does from Jolly Beedrill to Heracross. I do actually have a chance to win here, and the only chance is if this Heracross is Adamant. If it's Jolly Scarf Heracross outspeeds Jolly Mega Beedrill. Adamant Scarf Heracross does not outspeed Jolly Mega Beedrill. So, to get him in range of the Poison Jab, which does like 80 to 90-ish%, I need to get off some chip damage, and the only way I'm going to do that is by clicking Mach Punch here. It's my only play, so I have to sacrifice this Infernape to an Earthquake, let him take me out, and yeah, so that's what I did. That's what I did. Get off that chip damage, and now we just need to hope. We just need to hope. Please be Adamant. if you're Jolly Scarf, this game is in the bag for Mike. And it turns out that he actually is Adamant Scarf, so we get off the poison jab. And at that point, I don't believe it was a roll. If it was very heavily in my favor after that chip damage. Now he has to go out into the Hydreigon, and I am outspeeding that. Obviously, get off a U-turn, and I actually crit him here, which I thought at the time did not really matter, but he told me he was impish, physically defensive Hydreigon, so I guess that did matter. And looking at that HP of 199, yeah, it was definitely invested there. But at the same time, if he's impish, there's really nothing that he can do that could kill me. I think he may have had Dragon Tail. That was not going to be enough. So basically, if either one of us got a crit there, it was going to be a guaranteed win. And if neither one of us got a crit, then I won at that point. So there was so many swings in this game. This battle took almost 50 minutes. So if I did a live on this, it would just be crazy long. I'm pretty sure my voice would hurt after. But I loved this battle. I actually think that Mike outplayed me. I think I played very well at the beginning, and I was able to maneuver around the Stealth Rock, which really would have just caused me to basically lose the game. So I think I played well there in getting rid of that Soul Rock as early as possible, pursuing it, and that kind of thing. And then after that, he made two really great plays. That play where he stayed in with Heracross on Sylveon was just like, man, if only I just attacked you there. None of that stuff that came after would have mattered, but it ended up coming down to the difference between Adamant and Jolly, and sometimes that's just how it goes. So thank you so much for the battle, Mike. I look forward to battling you in week 4 or whenever it is that we're going to be battling in the league. I hope you guys enjoyed as well. I'm going to be getting better at this whole post-comm thing. It's so much different. I can throw so much more information at you, and I don't know, it's a different beast than doing live commentaries. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you are leaving a like rating or a comment or all the usual stuff that you amazing people do. And I will see you all next time. But until then, game on.